hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. So here we are in Gallopolis, which is where we need to be to do that lost ballad letter. And this is the house we need to be in. And if we talk to the butler... Yeah, where is that book? Of course you no longer have it. It's a woodcutter has it. At the Mangle Grove. Okay, well, fortunately we can warp directly to that spot, so we'll go ahead and do that. Of course, it couldn't be, that easy. I just wanted to do that side quest, and then we can get on with other things. Don't worry, folks. Eventually we're going to get through the list I have of all the ultimate key doors. Okay, Mangle Grove. Hey, there's our woodcutter. Give me the book. Yeah, okay, you're not telling me about the book. Is it this book that's laid out right here? There's actually a bookshelf behind me. There it is. And then we find the letter. Yeah, this is one of the recipe books I'm actually excited about because, things with metal goo, if it's liquid metal, whatever the case may be, tends to be some of the better equipment, so... Yep, now we get to go back to Arboria. I mean, I guess this side quest hasn't devolved into a whole bunch of battles yet. Or distracted me with other side quests. Oh boy. Okay, so here we are in Arboria. I like this music for Arboria. I'm sure I've said that before somewhere. So we tell this guy, oh, we found your letter thing. And we just go through the whole song or whatever. Yeah. What a heartbreaking moment. Alright, things to do with metal goo. Metal slime swords, metal goo rates. Couldn't we already make this stuff? And the answer is no, we could not already make this stuff. However, remember, this is just basic metal slime helmet, metal slime armor, metal goo swords. What we found back in Mordegon's castle was the liquid metal recipes, which were actually all better than the stuff we just got. So I'm really disappointed in this side quest, because it gave it to us, post-game. At least I think it was post-game. Couldn't we have gotten this before? And maybe we could have gotten it beforehand. That would probably make more sense. And so I go to a campsite here, the Heliodor campsite. This is going to become kind of like the base campsite for me for now. Just because it's, the first one on the list that you can get to quickly. As far as, going here to forge stuff. Oh, another thing is while we're here, we're gonna test something. We've got we need better weapons for you though. Is that Death Dagger? Because I'm also gonna see if I want to upgrade Eric's knives and equipment in that, and go with Eric over Jade. But to do that, we're going to get into a battle here. Any battle will do. Yep, you'll do fine. There's the malicious Platypunk, and the shadow thing we'll kill the shadow thing. So we're going to use Divide. So what I'm expecting this to do is, you know, triple our attacks, but then when we use Critical Claim, we get automatic critical hits off of our dual-wielding daggers, and I'm expecting like multiple thousands of damage. I mean, even if it's like 1,500, I'd still consider using Eric over Jade, because I'm sure when I get him better equipment. Alright, Critical Claim. Well, it does do the triple, but not in the way that I was expecting. You don't actually... It's kind of like the Hard Claw. You get the 3 shots, or the Hawkeye Claw. You get 1 shot with it, regardless of if you have claws equipped and do double attacks or whatever. So yeah, having the knives, dual-wielding knives, does not matter for the Critical Claim. And that is a lot of MP to do essentially the same damage output that Jade can do. So, no, we're not using Eric. We're using Jade. But, you know, that's the thing. I get ideas, and I test them, and sometimes they don't always work out. And, you know, that's okay if ideas don't always work out. You tried something new, and find that's the whole part of the adventure. Trying out new things, and finding out what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like. So... And this is me checking the equipment we just got access to, and I'm not impressed with it at all. So, and now we have to go somewhere else. Now we are going to rest up though, because I haven't actually rested since the last time. Since the last episode when we did all that fighting. And I never know what I'm going to stumble into now that we went to Gondolia and just got into a whole bunch of battles there. So I don't know what to expect as we go to any of these other towns. There's still that ruins in Zwarsdust. I can never pronounce that thing. That ruins that's magically sealed. We got to figure out how to break that seal and get in there. I'm sure we'll find some way as we do our post-game adventures here. Maybe that'll even be part of the main plot when we get back with Serenica. And we have the happy parade music here. And people are dancing. Leave this village at once. Oh gosh. Let me guess, there's a certain mural causing you problems. So basically, everyone's dancing. Not because they're happy or because they want to. They've been dancing for days. And it's only affecting young people. And it's because it's coming from the mural. Of course it's coming from the mural. Like, who would have expected anything else? Her dance moves over there. I'm not here to fix this right now. I'm here because I have it written down that there is somewhere in Phenomenon where I needed the ultimate key. But I wasn't any more specific than writing down Phenomenon. And the little kid, he's like, oh, the dancing does seem kind of fun. But I have a shop to run. They don't have any new stuff. And this is gonna get us. I've already accepted that side quest. And this guy, oh yeah, Sun and Da. And so this is like the third or fourth time where people have said that this situation you're meeting me has felt familiar, even though we went back in time to a point where we technically didn't meet them. So I'm guessing even though we did shatter the time sphere, somehow there's still some sort of remnant that remains where people still vaguely recall meeting us. Interesting. But again, I'm not going to try and decipher that from a logical standpoint, because anytime I try to apply logic to time travel, I just get a headache. So let's just keep things simple, and let's just do... Oh, here it is. For some reason, I don't think I saw it on the map, and I was just kind of running in this direction. Oh, we get a gold bar. I remember there were some crafting items that asked us for those. And... yeah, let's go down. I'm gonna regret this. A flaming monster dancing in the mural. Clobber the Dango. Is that what he just said? Well, you know what? We're not fixing your problems right now. We are actually going back. I zoomed out to the Strand because I was going to check some of the islands out here. Michelle is back. How is this possible? You killed yourself. We saw you do that. And that was before the World Tree fell, so that's not something that should have gotten undone with the going back in time. So what the heck happened? But she's still waiting for her darling Kai. Yeah, I don't get that. This is where I don't like time travel. Especially to the scale that we've gone back in time and undid so much stuff. But we shouldn't have undone that. And I decided to go about things on the boat here, because maybe we'll get into a battle or two along the way. We're actually going to end up exploring all of the islands. You'll see why. Actually, I still need to go back and explore the island over by Gondolia. I'll get to that. Alright, and we have, well, we've got some more new enemies here. The new Gloomnivore type enemy, or Manticore. I guess we found him first, as Manticores in the first forest. So we'll come in here. Oh, yeah, that's the marksman. There's a treasure. How did I not... So remember that thing on the boat when we were a fish in Nautica? And there was someone looking for some sort of legal papers that would absolve them of whatever court case they're dealing with. Well, those papers happen to be in that treasure. I was not even intending to find that here. It just kind of happened. I knew they were somewhere. I think they said they were somewhere on one of these islands, but yeah, I found it. So I guess I can go back and turn that one in whenever I feel like it. I don't think at this point the item that we get from it is going to be worth anything. So, yeah, I may or may not turn that one in. Oh, hi there, we'll fight this guy. He's new, he's green, he's blue. A Franticore. Okay. Again, I really need to stop trying that. I don't know what possessed me to start trying the instant death spells again. Although sometimes they are going to end up working out. Oh, bounce. Great. Now I don't want to use any spell on him, because it will automatically reflect, as this is like the reflect spell. But you can't reflect abilities. Which is one thing I like about having Rab over Veronica, is he does have that Spirit Bomb ability, where Veronica doesn't really have an ability like that. So if an enemy or something casts Bounce, Veronica's pretty much just screwed. Speaking of other Veronica versus Rab things, another thing we need to do is go back to the Royal Library over in the Sniffelheim region and read the books so we can do the quest that will increase Rab's magical abilities. And so that could also factor into my decision between Veronica and Rab. But I still haven't found Veronica's, you know, double casting ability. Ooh, Metal King Armor. And Metal King Armor, yep, there it is, has more defense and elemental damage reduced by 20%, not just 10% like the Irwin's armor. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and equip that. And I'm just comparing it with Irwin's armor here. Yeah, elemental damage is only 10%. This is 20%. Combine that with Irwin's helmet that we have, and that shield we have. I think we're reducing elemental damage by like 40% with Jace. Which, on one hand, is really cool. On another hand, just imagine the damage output if we didn't have those elemental resistances. Okay, so I went to the next island to the north, and I found this guy fishing. I started talking to him. And he's like, yeah, you came... He wants to see mermaids cured of sore throats. And he actually has the flower or weed or whatever it is we needed to fix that. So yeah, we'll talk to him. And we still have... How do we get over there? The bridge is still out. And that makes me wonder. Oh, so... I'm just going to explore this island a little bit. And actually, we're going to answer that question of how we fly. I just spoiled it, didn't I? Of how we get over there. Yeah, we're gonna fly. Now that Calasmus has appeared and caused all these vicious or malicious monsters, we now have ride armors here. You guys weren't here before. At least I'm pretty sure you weren't. Oh, we have 3 of these guys. Okay. The Dragon Riders, they don't have a ton of HP. Even these malicious versions. But yeah, they're not going to be that tough. So we'll just heal up with Rab here. And this Dragon Slash is going to be more than enough. And yeah, without Irwin's armor equipped, Jace is going to go back to his normal look. While it was cool to have the knightly armor, I do like the character's normal look overall, except for maybe Eric. I like some of Eric's costumes that he's had. But I've just gotten so used to seeing the luminary in this game, or the hero in this game, dressed as the way that he is, and it's just kind of become a part of him. And then to put him in armor like that just feels so unnatural. I'm wondering what's in those other 2 question spots up there. But we are going to need to get, like, Kazap. There's also a Kazapple. I don't know where that is on that board, though. Or if we would even get it on that board. I don't know. Okay, so with the ride armor, we can now come over here. We get another mini medal. Very cool. And molten globules. Remember, I can't always read the text, given the size of it in my editor here, so I'm kind of guessing at the name. So yeah, with this we can actually fly around these islands, and this is why we're going to have to re-explore all of these islands, not just the ones that I wrote down that have ultimate key spots. But I'm okay with that. Also, I've mentioned that I've done some playing of Dragon Quest V off camera, and I'm still working on that, but I think I've come to a conclusion. I'm gonna play it a little bit more, but I think I've come to a conclusion which Dragon Quest I like more, and I don't know if I'll get into that. Well, I'll get into that before the end of this LP. I just don't know when. Maybe it'll be as we explore it. It gives us something to discuss. Oh, this is a really cool view. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but I feel like I haven't taken enough time to appreciate some of the awesome views that we get in this game. I must say, I absolutely do love the graphics in this game. Very well done, in my opinion. Except for all the trees that like to get in the way of our camera angles. So that hasn't been happening much lately. But yeah, the soaring around these islands is just... it's just magnificent to look at. Okay, I think that's everything we got there. And so I'm going to see you guys next time.